Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. You have me this week. As you know, it is not live as I am in class this evening. I actually have my second test today, which I'm not feeling very confident in, but I will let you guys know how I do this evening on that test. If I sound a little nasally, I'm a little under the weather, but no biggie. A couple things to be reminded of. This Thursday is our first core service. So as you know, that's when we all come together and we are prepared, being filled and led by the Spirit to encourage the body in many different fashions and forms that we can. So let's prepare to do so. In your time of prayer and devotion in the Lord, seek Him. Seek the presence of God and ask Him to lead you in how you can minister, whether it's in testimony, revelation, personal prayer, a word of encouragement to somebody, a psalm, whatever it may be. Let's come prepared. We always have a great time when we have our first core service. So that will be this Thursday. And as a reminder, we are having our Christmas Eve luncheon on Tuesday. And I know that's a day where a lot of people work, so it's very, very important if you are able to attend that you do sign that volunteer sheet. We'll have it out again on Thursday and again on Sunday. It's very, very important that I know who will be there so we can make sure we'll have our assignments ready and be able to have a successful luncheon. So that will be Christmas Eve. And as we know, we have been speaking about the fruit of the Spirit. So let's read together and then we'll talk about what we'll be speaking about this evening. So we find the fruit in the Spirit in Galatians 5 in verse 22. And it says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law." That was the King James, and now read from the Amplified. "But the fruit of the Spirit, the result of His presence within us, is love, which is unselfish concern for others, joy, inner peace, patience, not the ability to wait, but how we act while we are waiting." That's what Pastor Ortiz spoke to us about last week. "Kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law." So I was getting ready to say tonight, it's morning time for me. It's 9 o'clock in the morning right now. But when you review it, maybe it'll be this evening, we're going to speak about goodness. Goodness, okay? So when we're speaking about, goodness here, remember everything that is being spoken about with the fruit of the Spirit is the fruit of the Spirit of God dwelling on the inside of us, right? So these are all the attributes. These are the characteristics that we should have on display, which proves, it identifies that the Spirit of God is dwelling within us and it's coming out of us. That fruit is coming out of us because His Spirit dwells within us. So it's a way of us being able to determine His Spirit within us. The previous scriptures before that begin to discuss the acts of flesh or sinful nature, right? So we know if those things are coming out, we need to be tapped in further into the Spirit, into the presence of God, because these things are what should be coming out. So when we talk about goodness, this is speaking about uprightness. This is speaking about integrity, right? Seeking the righteousness of God in every situation, regardless of how difficult that may be in the given situation. It's not a great example, but it's an example nonetheless. What I'm mindful when I think about goodness, and this is something that you'll see depicted in TV shows, things for kids and whatever. They'll have the angel on the right ear and what's supposed to be depicted as a devil on the ear. I'm saying ear, but pointing to my shoulder. The angel on the right shoulder, and the devil on the left shoulder, or whatever shoulder it's supposed to be. And they're faced with a dilemma, and they're having to choose deciding between good and evil, what they're going to choose and what they're going to listen to. And usually in that form, that's what we speak about when we speak about the fruit of the Spirit, and one of them being goodness. It's determining what is good, what is upright, what is the integrative way of handling this situation. Whether it deals with reaching out and helping somebody, helping somebody can go more into kindness, which is another part of the fruit, but the kindness fruit more deals with the, I guess, the empathetic way, or the soft way in which you deal with the person. You're kind and how you behave with them. The goodness aspect of it, the goodness aspect is knowing, no, I need to help. Consider the Good Samaritan, right? So what was in play with him, the fruit that was in play with him, to stop and recognize, I need to help this man, even considering there could be danger around me, right? Again, the Good Samaritan found this person who had been beaten up and had been robbed. And this journey that they were taking on, this part of the journey, was a rough one, and these things did happen. So the Good Samaritan had to decide what was the right thing to do here. Others had walked right by, but he decided, no, I'm going to act in goodness. Even though I could be putting myself in jeopardy, he stopped to help this man. The kindness went in how he dealt with him. He bandaged him up. He used, he had him ride on his donkey, or whatever it was that they rode on. I believe it was a donkey. You see how both fruits are coming into play, and sometimes we can find ourselves in difficult situations, even confrontational ones, and we have to decide, am I going to get involved? What do I need to do? Well, we always need to be thinking about righteousness. What is the integrative thing to do? What is the right thing to do in this situation? That is acting out of the fruit of goodness. And sometimes those situations can be difficult. Sometimes it's considering morals and things of that nature. A significant part of my job is negotiating, right? So that's my job. I negotiate, and I have to negotiate a lot of deals within my organization, within my job. But you have to be careful, because sometimes you can negotiate in bad faith. You can do things that are wrong. It's not the integrative way of acting. So I have to always have that check in me, recognizing I've got to do my job. I've got to do it skillfully. I've always have to act with integrity. I can't be dishonest. So it's understanding, yes, how the world models things and how they do things, but recognizing the character that we are supposed to have on display, right? Jay has shared with us previously, right, that one of the jobs he had when he was doing solar, one of the businesses that he worked with, he was not comfortable being there because they didn't act with integrity. They were not honest with their customers, and it made him uncomfortable. Sure, he wants to sell and he wants to make money. Of course he does. We all want to make money. But it wasn't acting out of integrity, and began to make him feel uncomfortable. And that's our reality. This is what we have to live on. We have to do what is good. We have to do what is upright. We have to consider more. We are the church, and the church is you and I. We know that. We should be the moral compass of this world. We are supposed to be that light. They should be able to point to us to look for what is right, what is the integrative way of doing things. And acting out of integrity and goodness is not just mouthing off and flippantly saying what you feel and what. No, it considers the entire situation. It recognizes at times, yes, we might have to be confrontational, but it ties in with kindness. So we understand our integrity. We want to act with uprightness and righteousness. And then that ties in with kindness as we are delivering our message. Everything is to seek to bring forth truth, to bring light to the situation, to be able to restore. That is how we are to operate, and that is how we are to live. So let's consider, remember that what we were speaking about before, our motivations. What is motivating us? Let's consider our lives. Let's consider decisions that we make. Let's consider our relationships. Let's consider what we do every single day. Are we acting out of goodness? Are we acting out of integrity? Are we always seeking what is right? And if we are not, this is our measure. So we recognize, yes, I do see there's some things that I need to work on. Holy Spirit, I pray that you would help me. Fill me till I would overflow. I want to represent everything that is listed as a fruit of the Spirit. Yes? Well, I hope this ministered to you all this evening. I'm so used to doing this at night. It's morning time, but whenever you guys see it, although I'm going to upload it probably shortly. I pray you all have a blessed day and week, and I will see you on Thursday. Love you all.